she feathers?
No idea. Well, then I could actually go. I don't know length or anything, so. These are from my first book called Chest in the Attic. And I had to include this one as the first one, and it's very unhappy sounding, but it's appropriate for this time of year. It's called the 14th. What else is new? Do I not read? Hi, everything has to be cheery all the time. And I have to clip everything together, sorry. This is called 14th. Grade school, lace and construction paper cutouts, mimicking our hearts with school glue, a 64 pack of crayons, a doily, perhaps, and a child's scribblings. Be my Valentine. The beginning of every cold February, the classes of children are taught to make enough little hearts for everyone so that no one may be disappointed, so that everyone can be your Valentine. Nonetheless, one little child's construction paper mailbox come February 14th always had less than everyone else's. And so it gets easier as the years go on. Mommies buy little packs of Valentine cards so their children can sign and give them away to all the other little children at school. Saves them from having to make all those cards. The glue and the glitter and the cutouts are messy. Every 14th year, when I was little, I remember Daddy bringing heart-shaped boxes home for all the girls. Myself, my sister, my mother. And I can remember Mother now, her candy box on her ironing board, thanking him once again for the lovely gift. And so it goes. And the card shops get full at this time every year. Husbands say, my wife will kill me if I don't get her a card. Or a young woman complaining, my boss told me to get a card for his wife. And the flowers seem the same, don't they? Carnations arranged in a big ball atop a little basket. Red, yellow, pink, white. Lovely. All the adornments of the holiday don't stop short of the best. My girlfriend said to me once that she was sure the boyfriends break up with you by the beginning of February so they don't have to buy you anything. So they don't have to say that they love you. And last year I spent Valentine's Day taking those chalky hearts and the messages on them and scribbling my own on the back. Go away, leave me alone. I never really liked those chalky tasting heart candies anyway. And the Valentine's Day party, where all of the single people are thinking, please don't let me go home alone. Please let me go home with someone. And the women getting lonely, and the married couples arguing, and the suicide rate going up, and the women looking at the carnation on our dining room table, holding a card in her hand that says, love, Jake, wondering why she doesn't feel good just yet. The 14th. I know, I have like happier memories of Valentine's Day, by the way. Honestly, because I think for that, I'm going to have to read the first thing from the feature that talks about Valentine's Day. I know. Yes. But this is, oh no, see, this is what happens. I organize things and I paperclip them all together, which means I've got to unpaperclip everything. This is called Mapping Our Way to True Love. I'd always taken charge and led the way, but even on my own, I accomplished more than anyone else. I was invincible. I was doing so well. I quit my job as an art director at the second largest city in the States, kept paying for my apartment in Chicago, and traveled around the country by car until I was stopped at a light, and one car slammed into me, and then another, and then I fought for my life. And this sounds very sad, and I'm telling you, it was, but this is still just a part of my invincible life, because doctors from other floors in the hospital read my records and called me Miracle Girl because of my miraculous recovery. But that was the first time in my invincible life where I ever felt alone, because the only one thing that was ever missing from my invincible life was true love. You know the kind, because in this hectic modern world, it's next to impossible to find your philosophical equal. So now, because I'm a journalist forced to take the train because my car was totaled, I'd ask passengers questions. Tell me something about yourself. Because my life was almost taken away, I wanted to learn everything about life that I could. Let me at least vicariously live. So tell me something about yourself. And one man answered in the cold of January while I got myself covered in a coat and hat and scarf and gloves. And he asked me what book I was currently reading. I said a philosopher's name, and he had said that they knew their writing, and that they had read their novels. Then he named their nonfiction books, and then he even said that he read the lexicon on their philosophy. And I stopped him, wait, you're telling me you read a dictionary? And he said yes, and the information came quite in handy in his life. And on our first date, we talked philosophy more than half the night, when not asking each other vague, tell me about yourself questions. And although we had only known each other for 2 weeks when Valentine's Day came, he decided to get me an expansive map of the United States because I had just traveled it. He carried this large tube to his work with him on Valentine's Day. A coworker saw it, inquired, and when he said that he was giving his girl a map for Valentine's Day, the coworker laughed. Oh, she'll hate that. Won't want chocolate and flowers, he said. But when I got that map, I asked him if it was okay if I kept it curled up until we had a home for it. When I look up in my office, I can see that map framed on my wall right now. And when I leave my office, I can see a wall displaying his guitars. He likes that I wanted to display his music, and he likes the fact that I'm a creative person with an engineering side, and he's an engineering person with a creative side. But that shouldn't surprise him, and it shouldn't surprise him that we were engaged 4 times longer than we dated. Yes, our dating was accelerated because not many people talk philosophy on their first date. Not many people realize, even before they start dating, that they were meant to be with each other. Because now that we found each other, we want to lock hands and scour those maps because we want to see every part of the world together. Because when you get to this point, celebrating alone isn't celebrating, and living alone isn't living when you could be with your one true. I had to put a happier 14th message in there, I had to. But now I'm going to try some of the other ones again. So I've got a new one. This one is called The Page. And I dedicate it to inspiration. I dedicated a poem. I never dedicate poems. What is that about? What is that about?
Jane.
Well, it's an old one. I never do usually. This is called The Page. And you would still appear in the pages I held in my hand, rippling waves on the pages before me, a dorsal fin of a shark circling my head, watching its prey. I could touch the page and still feel the rose I threw over the mahogany box in the November cold, the grass covered in ice, crackling each time I took a step toward you. I could feel the pain in the paper, and I could feel the cold marble freezing my fingers. And the etched marble on the stone would still take hold of me the way you did. All I had to do was look at the back at your writing and feel the blood rush, feel your breath on my neck, feel the fist jumping out from the page and hitting me in the face. I could feel it. I could feel the 1,000 wars fought and won on your pages, in your words. I could feel your hot breath pushing up against my neck. I could feel your hands taking my shoulders, throwing me back in my chair. I would look at your paper and see out the window the masses rising, rioting in the streets. I could feel the tide rising from your thoughts. What do you possess? What have you been through to give you such a gift? I look back at the page and I begin to feel your hand from under the page, from in the desk, razor in hand, shoving up through the fiber, slicing at the air, trying desperately to get to me. And I get up from my chair, walk over to the bathroom, almost like memorization. I feel nothing but the drive you felt. In the mirror, there are cuts on my face. The page. This one's called The Flashback. Everyone at work wondered why she'd look so down that day, and occasionally someone would ask her, what's the matter? And she'd say she was just having a bad day. And she went through the motions. She did her work. She ate her lunch, even though the lettuce tasted bad. And then she had to run an errand for the boss. And she was in her car. It was snowing, but not the pretty kind of snow, not the kind of snow you expect to see on Christmas Day. It was like the snow was already dirty and gray before it hit the ground. And she was driving, and she didn't even realize that she was going under the speed limit. She was in a daze, lost, and not because of depression, but because there was nothing she cared to think about. And so she drove. And she dropped off the crate of flyers from the mailing list for the boss, and she drove back. But the whole way back, she was thinking that she should drive slower so she wouldn't have to be back at work so fast. And so she drove slowly, coasting now, watching the dirty snow touch her windshield. And she looked over to her left, and there was an old man lowering his car from the jack it was on, a flat tire. And then she had a flashback. And it was no longer winter, and she was no longer driving. She was outside, and he was trying to fix the flat in his rusty white car. They were driving back from a park. It was summer in Monticello, and it had been 90 degrees, and there she was, sitting on a dirty beige carpet scrap from the floor of the car. She had taken the scrap and moved off to the dirt road about 10 feet into the field. She just sat there, watching him, shirtless, fixing the car so they could drive home. And she wanted to remember it, just like that. And then the light turned green. She followed the procession of cars through the graying snowflakes, and she began to forget that it was such a bad day, and she didn't mind her days. How much would you like me to do later?
Well, you'll come back up again later, so if you want to do some more later, it's fine.
We're probably going to be leaving at 4:30. We have to leave early.
Ah, okay, then if you want to do some more now, that would be great.
Is that okay with you?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know what I have here. I'll have to come up with things, and if you'll forgive me, I'm going to unclip these things because everything is super clipped together. That's what I get for being organized, right? I'll do something, right? But when everything changes.
I've never been organized. What's it like?
You're just organic.
I'm organic.
Try it this way. I can see 3 here, and I could end with a newer one if you would like.
Yes, that's
Newer
great.
and bigger phones. Stuff my paper out of your way, and thank you for tolerating my organization. I'll get those clips later. And I have no idea if I'm centered in the frame. John walked away. Well, I know. I had to get away. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, and thank you. And thank you for putting up with me. Do I need to move? Am I fine? Awesome. You're the best. This one is called Muse, the Messiah. It comes in 2 parts. I can see you now, hunched over, pouring yourself into your work, scattered pages, dim lights flooding white over a glaring screen in your otherwise darkened corner of the world. And I know you can feel me now, feel me rushing in through the window that you leave only slightly open at night, rushing in with a faint whistle, circling around your neck, curling around your jaw, opening your mouth so slightly. You can feel my rush, chilling your teeth. You tilt your head back, closing your tired eyes from your problems, from your future in front of you, on those pages, on that screen, under that white light. You let me open your mouth more and more. You feel me swirling around your tongue, down your throat, into your lungs, like smoke from a clove cigarette when you hold your breath to feel that high and feel that ecstasy just a little longer, or like steam rushing down your throat when you take a deep breath in the summer morning after a heavy fog. You open your eyes. You lick your lips. I make you do that. I make you forget your world. You can feel me there. You can't escape me. I'm there. I'm your muse. And I'm sitting in my apartment, and while I reach out my arm, shadows of my hands stretch across the wall. There is no music, but I begin to move my hands like a ceremony, as if to a drummed-out rhythm, like a pant of a mistress as she walks from the hotel steps into her car after seeing her savior. Like waves at sea slowly crashing at the shoreline. The phases of the movement are changing, and the waves are crashing with more and more intensity, faster and faster. And at this very moment, you walk down a street somewhere. It is daylight, and you see the white moon peering toward you from the sky. The moon was looking for you. It wanted to watch you. You divert your eyes, step off the curb, and for no reason walk in the middle of the street. There is no traffic. You are safe. And the moon watches the stride of your step, and the moon watches my hand, and the moon hears the rhythmic pant of intensity, and the moon rises the water. We feel the drumming beat. The phases of the moon are changing. There is no reason why you should question this. You can feel me. I will keep you safe. I will keep you alive. I'm your Messiah. This one is called Slate and Marrow. And thank you very much for the sound. No one could understand. It was like every morning I couldn't find a reason to wake up. The world felt cold, like slate, like marble tiles in the front hallway of my parents' house. That floor was always cold. Oh, I'd like to feel that cold against my feet now. But there I was in some 11 by 12 apartment room, running from my past, running from my present. Every morning I would wake up. I would wake up and feel that night again when he came uninvited. Or did I invite him? The haze of drunken nights from then on, wearing that dress, knowing the faceless faces couldn't care less as long as they could have their way with me later that night. What would my parents think of me now? I'm no longer their little girl. I could feel myself getting older by the minute. I could feel my skin wrinkling, my joints getting stiff. I could feel my bones, the marrow drying up, my bones crumbling away. And every morning I would still put on my clothes, get out my work together, and I'd head out the door. Could I ever get out of this cycle? And it was as if I had never realized that all this time I was looking for a purpose, and it was you. When I strolled up the street, Stinger, I stopped because I saw your face. Why on earth did you think that you could tell me your secrets when we'd only known each other for 15 minutes? And then I was just being in your presence, and it made me break down, made me hate everything, made me love everything, made me want change. I'd hit you in rage, I'd lean on you, my slate, and you let me. And it was as if the marrow was back. I could just lay in bed at night and feel the blood running through my body. I could feel the oxygen as I inhale hitting my bloodstream. I could feel the marrow, all the cells in my body moving faster and faster. My skin would tingle. I suddenly had power. I could make blood move to any part of my body. I had this power. I could make pain go away. I could turn myself into stone. Not so that I would be cold and unfeeling, but so that I was strong, immovable. And I did it for me. But don't you think for a minute that I didn't do it for you. Would you like me to end on a happier note?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Do you have any votes from the new feature? Should I end? Oh, I should just end with just one book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a killer. Especially here.
Because I'm in a bookstore. It would
There you
seem
are.
perfect. Remember this now? Well, we'll get it later. This is the last one for my feature, and thank you very much for listening to me. This is called Just One Book. I wore my older sister's communion veil, playing dress-up in my imaginary wedding. I read my older sister's prayer book, wondering who could hand me my answers. Mangled in a maelstrom of religions, I was left lost, searching for salvation. After years ticked by, it was only then when my Judeo-Christian boyfriend gave me a book. It didn't quite fit in with his beliefs, but he told me to give it a read. Now, I remember reading books when I'd have to tell myself to read 50 pages a day just so that I could get through it. And after reading any passage, I honestly couldn't even tell you what I had just read. But this book was like no other. It spoke to me philosophically, and it managed to show me how to live. You didn't think that you could get so much from just one book, and it's true. Afterward, I swooped as much reading on the subject as I could. But it still stuns me that just one book could put me on a track on how to live and think through life, because suddenly all of my reasoning made sense. With this one book, I learned how to fit the pieces together, and suddenly my life made sense. I didn't think that just one book could do that to a person, but I am a living testament to the message, and like I'm placing my hand on a Bible, I'll swear to this day that just the right book in just the right hands of just the right minds can really give the world clarity and transform everything perfectly. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Are you going to tell us which philosopher it was that you were discussing?
I don't think I should, because the whole point with that is that everybody has that idea of what
I'm
that is.
nosy.
And when I read that the first time, everybody's like, "What was the book?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna tell
Well,
you."
the philosophy that you guys discussed on your first date.
It's the same philosophy that we
Oh,
discussed on
okay.
our first date.
All right.
Yes. So.
Okay.
But it's the
All
same
right, then I
one.
won't ask.
So, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ready?